But Brad Ritchie, the stewards have made their decision, and what have they decided to do for 2021?
Yeah, so with the 1 lap completed of the restart, that's enough for a half a race result. So they've given half points to the order that crossed the line in that 1 lap restart. So that one there, Damon Rees, Jake Lewis, and Mitchell Rees, 1, 2, and 3 when they crossed the line on that second restart. And half points awarded for that one there. So with the 2 races combined, half a race was completed and the half points given up on that one there. So sometimes it can be cruel, sometimes it can be kind. Races have been won and lost on technicalities, but that one there, to the rules and the officials, the right call has been made there. And we've got half points awarded and a New Zealand Grand Prix title for Damon Rees, defends his title, and that one there is going to feel pretty good.
All right, well, let's go to Neil Ritchie now with the presentation. Well, let's continue our action now here at Mike Pero Motorsport Park at Ruapuna, just outside of Christchurch. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on a lovely Sunday afternoon of New Zealand Grand Prix day here at the Superbikes, New Zealand Superbikes Championship, race 3 of the weekend, which also doubles as the New Zealand Grand Prix title races for 2021. And we now move to the next race, which is the Super Sports 600. And this should be a cracking race. We've got 16 laps and 11 riders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in fact 10 riders who are going to gun for this title today. And Dale Finch from Christchurch, Brad Ritchie, is the hot favourite, having won the first 2 races this weekend.
Oh yeah, he's been on another planet so far. He's been absolutely flawless, so we'll keep an eye on this one here. Of course, 16 laps. These guys get tyre allocations throughout the whole weekend, so they'll probably have a brand new rear tyre, but might be using an old front. So there'll be a bit of tyre strategy going on here. But these guys here, 16 laps, it will be very physically demanding on these 600 Supersport machines, and be interesting to see how we get on with this one here. But Dale Finch, certainly odds-on favourite after his 2 dominant wins so far this weekend. Rogan Chandler has had a pretty good weekend at the office. He certainly may be able to challenge Dale for that win. We've got Avalon Biddle, a former 600 Supersport champion. She's had a couple of 3rd places so far this weekend, and looking like she could also spoil the party. But there's also some young guns out there like Zach Fuller, Tar Walker, Hamish Fox, Nick Kane, anyone here always with Seth Diderot. He's got a mixture of youth and experience on his side. Yeah, anyone's race here with a 16-lap Grand Prix, and she's all on here. Yeah,
it's a marathon race. Everyone's got youth and experience, Brad.
Everyone
has. So the top 4 that line up here, it's going to be Dale Finch on pole, Regan Chandler from Upper Hutt in the second, Seth Devereaux from Central Otago, he's 3rd, and Avalon Biddle in bike number 50. So let's just give you these bike numbers. Finch is 17, Chandler is 15, Devereaux 11, and Biddle is 50. That's the front row, and we're all set for a start now in the New Zealand Grand Prix title on the Super Sports 600. 16 laps of mayhem around Ruapuna with Dale Finch on pole. And we're underway, and it's a great start from Chandler in second place. Biddle, as she did in race number 2, has made a fantastic start out wide in lane number 4. And Biddle is tearing down the course to try and take the lead, and she's done so, but her last in the lead didn't last too long.
Late breaking superstar Dale Finch just dived up the inside. It was a brilliant move. Rogan Chandler just had to stop. I think Avalon braked a bit earlier than he was expecting her to, so had to check up a little bit, and frantic stuff. So Dale Finch, Avalon, we've got a couple down out of the Icon corner, so a big puff of dust there. So big drama here at Super Sports 600 Racing, and we're both riders are up, but the bikes, we've got the update that one of them is Zach Fuller. We'll try and keep the update. Both riders are up and okay, so we'll keep an eye on this one here. We're still green in racing. We're going to keep an eye on this one, but bike's right next to the track. It'll be hard to know what's going to go on here, and it could be some more drama coming here, but we've got the update. Dale Finch, Rogan Chandler, and Avalon Biddle still going out there. That's your top 3 as we continue to race green flag.
Yes, indeed. Wow, can you believe more crashes? This is just such a shame, but both riders are walking around and they're fine at the moment. Still no red flag. The race is continuing, and it's still Finch leading from Biddle, and Chandler in 3rd place at the moment. And here comes the red flag, unfortunately, folks. And there's another rider down as well, and jeepers, this is cunning. This is getting towards carnage now with that rider coming down too. And he is crawling off the track just past the dipper. Fingers crossed he's okay.
So, righto, we've gotten to a red flag, and Tarbin Walker, the man, just down out of the Aon dipper. So, yep, got initially up to his feet, but then just got himself off the track, and yeah, hopefully he's okay. So we've got 3 riders down on the circuit at any one time, and when you've only got 9 runners, a lot more drama here. So red flag out. These guys will go back to Parc Ferme, and we'll make a call. But with these 3 riders, there's a bike recovery to be done as well, and we'll see what's going to happen here. We'll keep you updated here at the round 1 of the New Zealand Superbike Championship, NZSBK, and more drama as the afternoon unfolds, Glenn.
Well, Nick Kane didn't start too as well. I see Brad, he had that issue in the last race. So who are the riders that we think are down at the moment? I think you identified 2 of them, didn't you?
Yeah, so we've definitely got Tarbin Walker out of the Aon dip. We've got Zach Fuller. He's one of the ones down at the ICOM corner. And I think it could be any one of these guys up here, maybe Hamish Fox. We're not sure. We'll keep an update there when we know what's going on, but plenty of drama.
All right, we'll get confirmation of just those riders, but they were at the back of the field, weren't they? It wasn't any of the riders at the front of the field. But there is hopefully not going to be too much of a problem with all of these riders, but we are seeing all 3 on their feet now, which is good news, including Walker, who crawled off the track after coming off his bike just past the dipper. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, great sign. Yeah, he's up and walking now. So, yep, might just had the wind knocked out of him. Had a big high side coming out of the Aon dipper. Very easy to do, especially with the cold tyres. 1 lap into that Grand Prix race, just lit the back wheel up and flicked him off. Very much a classical off in there, and he's up and okay, so he'll get checked out. But trying to get a few bikes recovered on the track at the moment and find out what we can do here. Red flag on lap 1 of the 600 Supersport Grand Prix as the drama keeps unfolding here at round 1 of the New Zealand Superbike Championships.
Yes, it just gives us a chance to recap for you once more. Damon Rees, the New Zealand Grand Prix champion in the Superbikes category, after 2 red flags in that race, awarded half points. 12.5 points he secured in the championship. Jake Lewis finishing 2nd with 10, and Mitch Rees in 3rd, getting 8 points. And of course, congratulations to Carl Hooper. What a wonderful race he put in to win the New Zealand Grand Prix in the Pro Twins title, winning his 3rd straight race of the weekend. SJ Cavell coming home in 2nd place in that race, and Jared Horn finishing in 3rd. Stay with us. We'll have updates for you and an idea of when we might get a restart in the Super Sport 600s race very soon.
Hey folks, volunteers, they're what make our sport. We're in the Motorcycling New Zealand family, and the big shout out for our volunteers that do our flag marches out there, all conditions, and these guys have to be alert. And I tell you what, it's super hard to be a flag marshal, and Glenn, for somebody as an introduction to our sport, I'll tell you about a flag marshal, because here's the riders coming towards you, but you're actually looking at where they've gone, because if there's in an incident, you're signalling to those riders. So you go to a race event and look the opposite way to where the riders are coming. So it's a bit like if you're standing here, you've got to look that way, not where they're coming. All the crowd, you know, you see the moving heads as they're going past. So being a flag marshal, you can't have a super interest in the race, or otherwise you'll be all of a sudden looking the wrong direction. There's an incident behind you. So flag marshalling is a real challenge. Yeah, exactly. You've got it. Yeah, that's it. The analogy is from Glenn. Perfect. You've gone to the rugby game and you're the security guard and you're looking out at the crowd and not at the game itself. Beautiful analogy. So there we go. And our list today include Jed Knight, Tom Walsh, Richard Stevens, Garrick Wild, Jules Dando. We've got Hope Dando, John O'Scudder, along with Terry Vatula. We have Eugene Boysen, John Anderson, Graham McDonald, Olivia Bovey, to Mel Lynn, Dion Allen, John Stool and Shane Easton. Shout out to all you guys. You are just fantastic in the work that you do. They've got their pet places on the circuit. They've got the ones that they're very good at, and obviously the officials like to choose the marshals that are in position. So these are hand-picked volunteers, folks, because some people put their hand up to do it and they come along, and of course they go into a position with an experienced person, so you mix the experience and lesser experience together so they can get the experience, and one day they can head one of the points here, and they come back again and again and again to support Motorcycling Canterbury. So shout out to those volunteers. We can't do it without you, and say a massive thank you.
Well, Grand Prix Day continues here at Ruapuna. New Zealand Superbikes Championship across 7 classes. Good crowd here. Beautiful sunny conditions. We're not too far away from a race restart in the Supersport 600s race. After 2 separate incidents in the first attempt to complete the race, with Tarbin Walker, Zach Fuller and Seth Devereaux all coming a cropper in the first race. But Brad Ritchie with me, and Brad, we're going to get a full 16-lapper again here in this race, because I guess both incidents happened early in the race proper.
Yeah, so if you get a red flag within the first 2 laps, it's a full restart. So the full 16-lap restart scheduled here, but the people involved in the incident or that not racing at the time of the red flag are unable to participate in the restart. So that will leave Seth Devereaux, Zach Fuller and Tarbin Walker sidelined for this one, and we wish them all the best. We believe Seth's just getting checked out in the medical centre. Zach's okay, and Tarbin is a little bit shaken up, but not too bad. So a speedy recovery from those guys as we're racing in a week's time at Levels International Raceway for round 2 of this championship. And now it's a war of attrition out there at the moment.
Sure
there's not many left. We've got a 16-lapper here and only about 7 eligible to make the start line.
That's right. In fact, it's probably worth mentioning that this year's Superbikes Championship is a 4-round affair. We're at Timaru next week, and then we're in the North Island in March for rounds in Hampton Downs and in Taupo to complete this year's championship. In fact, I think we're just going to have the 6. Of course, Nick Kane, whose bike came a cropper during a race earlier today, is not on the start line either. So it's just going to be 6 riders: Dale Finch, Rogan Chandler, Avalon Biddle. They'll be the top 3, along with Hamish Fox, Jacob Pearce and Luca Durning. Those are the 6 that will be competing in the New Zealand Grand Prix title for the Supersport 600s today, as the riders just come down the home straight to complete their warm-up laps. And we're going to have those same 4 on the front row. Dale Finch on pole, Rogan Chandler second on the grid, and the front row completed by Avalon Biddle, of course, with Seth Devereaux now out of contention. So just reminding you once again, that's Dale Finch just moving into pole position. He's in bike number 17. Avalon Biddle is just coming in a shot there on the left of screen. She's on the yellow bike. That's bike number 50. And just coming into position now is Rogan Chandler, who's bike number 15. He's in that kind of purple-tinged bike, would you say, as we get set for the second attempt here in the Supersport 600s New Zealand Grand Prix for 2021. The 16-lapper Dale Finch is away. So too is Chandler and Avalon Biddle, as she's done before. Races from the outside lane to try and grab that lead at the first corner, but doesn't look like she's going to do it. Brad Ritchie, as Dale Finch slots into his customary number 1 position. Yeah,
he's got a great set of brakes on that Scott Structural Triumph. Dives into turn number 1, and he's going to lead. But Avalon Biddle ahead of Rogan Chandler, so Rogan continues his shock starts. Av's got that MTF Finance Kawasaki really hooking up off the line. So this one here, 1, 2, 3 at the moment. These guys have been the Class 3 so far this weekend, as Rogan Chandler has a little look up the inside, and that's a really good move. He come from quite far back and managed to get a stop, so a good move. Now up into second place. This is what we wanted to see, the 1-2 tussle. It's been going on all summer so far. And this one here, 16-lapper, but Dale Finch now under a bit of pressure. Rogan Chandler's not going to let him have it his own way. Avalon Biddle now relegated to 3rd, and we've got the other 3 with Hamish Fox, Luca Durning and Jacob Pearce. They're going to fight it out for the best of the rest, as it looks like this front 3 is already sneaking off.
Yeah, they certainly do. Dale Finch has won both races of the weekend so far. Chandler's finished 2nd in both races, and Biddle has finished in 3rd in both races. And that's exactly the order we have halfway through this first lap here on this 16-lapper for the Supersport 600s. And Dale Finch, of course, from Christchurch, and what is in his 3rd or 4th season, isn't he, at this level?
Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah, he's been on the MV Augusta the first time around on the 600. There he's and found himself right at home in that Scott Structural Triumph. He was really fast in the first 2 rounds of the Suzuki International Series, and then come alive at the streets of Wanganui on Boxing Day for the 70th running of the Cemetery Circuit. His first trip there, so it's pretty good to see how well he's doing in New Zealand road racing as he just keeps going from strength to strength around this Ruapuna circuit here at Mike Pero Motorsport Park. But that front trio, that's been the class act of the weekend so far, and we're in for a beauty here. A big 16-lap full restart here in the Supersport 600 New Zealand Grand Prix, thanks to Dynaworks bringing us this one here and flying at the moment.
Yeah, Finch around the hairpin he goes. His lead at the end of the first lap was 0.736 of a second, so similar margin back to Biddle in third, with Chandler splitting those two riders at the moment. But Finch from Christchurch has been a class act all weekend, alongside maybe Carl Hooper, who's looked very good in those Pro Twins bike race that we saw earlier today. Conditions very good now for motorcycling, if a little hot. And of course, we'll see the track heat up throughout the afternoon, and that high cloud cover has vanished here at Ruapuna. Very warm summer's afternoon as we see Finch going to the dipper.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. Just got that lead at a manageable state for him. He was really consistent in race number 2. Just got out in front and just kept ticking off those consistent laps, just stretching out that advantage a little bit at a time. And eventually Rogan just had to concede and let him run away with it. But here it is here. They start another lap here in the Grand Prix. We've got 14 to go. Dale Finch goes a 1:32.4, so 2 tenths quicker than Rogan that time. So this gap's on just about a second, so just slightly under a second. And he already starting to show his dominance. Avalon Biddle right in the hunt though, only 4 tenths off Rogan at the moment, so look at that one there. Hamish Fox, shout out to Hamish in 4th place on his first 600 Supersport campaign this summer, so great to have him there. And Jacob Pearce, Luca Doon, these guys having a great little fight. 5th and 6th place, and a couple of young men there. Shout out to Jacob Pearce and Luca Durning out there completing our 6 races in our Supersport 600 New Zealand Grand Prix final race of the weekend for these guys.
Yes, let's remind you that Nick Kane didn't make the start line after bike trouble in race number 2 this weekend. Seth Devereaux, Zach Fuller, Tarbin Walker all crashing out of the first attempt at getting a champion in this class earlier today. It's Dale Finch who is leading at the moment. 1:32.407, just checking that lap record, which is held by our good friend Damon Rees. Set it back in 4 years ago now, 1:31.099. So we'll see if that one might get under threat a little bit later today. We will see. This is a long race.
Yeah, we've still got a massive 13 and a bit laps to go. Dale Finch, just when we said he was sneaking off of this one, Rogan Chandler sort of answered a little bit. That gap definitely coming down on screen. So look at this one here. Out of the turn 10 sweep we go. And it's the 17, the Scott Structural Triumph of Dale Finch. He's going to tick off another lap here, but Rogan Chandler certainly looks like he's putting a bit of a squeeze on there and gets that gap down to 0.8. So fastest lap of the race down with Rogan Chandler. He was a 1:32.1. So he's taken 2 tenths of a second out of Dale's lead. So keep an eye on this one. We might have some developments going on here.
Yeah, 1:32.162 that time for Chandler in that lap, the fastest of the race so far from Upper Hutt, 23 years of age. He's a builder, and he is very handy on the motorbike as well as he closes that gap towards the hairpin there. Biddle still holding third, massive gap back to 4th at the moment, which is held by Hamish Fox of Pukekohe. And yeah, you're right, Brad. It could be a bit of a battle. Let's see. Hope for the fans' sake we get a real tight battle between these two up front at the moment.
Oh, this is going to be good if these guys go at it. These guys have been really pushing the envelope with 600 Supersport racing. They were on fire in the North Island when we went at the Suzuki International Series. And now have a look at this one here. Shaping up for a doozy. We've still got 12 and a half laps of this one here as we go into Southern Salvage. Absolutely nothing in it now. That was 0.8 of a second when they crossed the line. It's less than that now. So Rogan Chandler really putting the pressure on here and making himself known. How is this going to unfold? A massive long race. These guys have got sets of tyres for the weekend, so they have 2 fronts and 3 rears, I believe. So this is going to be quite important to see how it all plays out and how this one here, who's got a new front, who's got old tyres. See what unfolds here at Mike Pero Motorsport Park as we go quicker again from Rogan Chandler. So continues to put the pressure on. It's down to 0.65. So yeah, coming up half a second. really starting to heat up.
Yeah, he's put, he's shaved about 0.2 of a second off the margin. It's just a matter of whether he can keep it going.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be good. The sun's shining. Still a great crowd in here at Mike Pero Motorsport Park for this big feature, New Zealand Grand Prix title up for grabs. As you can see, Rogan loves this part of the track. He's really good through that Euro mark left-hander, and he loves this flowing section, the Fulton Hogan S's on that Lazu Blue Crew Yamaha. And great to have the full Blue Crew team here. We touched on it before, and shout out to Holland Collision Repair, doing a great job. They've been with the Blue Crew Yamaha team for so long. It's good to see them out on track at see Cam here and enjoying it here at Mike Pero Motorsport Park. This is going to come down to the wire, I believe. There's absolutely nothing in it as we go into Southern Salvage. He's caught right up onto the back wheel. He's almost looking at where he can make a move here. I suggest in the lapse time this is going to start really heating up.
Yeah, let's hope so. Lead change would really throw a cat amongst the pigeons for this race. But one thing Finch does seem to have is good speed down the home straight. And he does have some good power on that bike of his. And Chandler, as they come around the sweeper into the main straight, as we look to complete lap number 5. It's going to be Finch. Across the line first. Chandler in second. That lead down to 6.619. So he shaved 0.4 off. Biddle still holding third. She's 4.3 seconds back behind Chandler now.
Yeah, these guys are absolutely flying. So they're about 9/10 off lap record pace. So certainly flying in the middle of a Grand Prix race like this to be putting those lap times up. This is going to go on. Fireworks are expected here as we see. And we talk about this being a 600 Super Sport class at Dale Finch on the 675 Triumph. You might ask why you can have a 675 in a 600 class, but it's a 3-cylinder machine, whereas Rogan's R6, a 600cc machine, but that's got 4 cylinders. So that's how we get the parity. It's the same they run at World Super Sport 600 Racing. We run similar rules here, and this one here is a great battle here.
Oh, I thought Chandler might have had a tick there, but Finch is doing a good job at keeping his composure, keeping his rival at bay. Oh, this is a good race. Good race, folks.
10.5 laps to go too, so this is going to really heat up. They've been almost training fastest lap times of the race, and Rogan just managed to get himself right in the thick of it. So it's less than a couple of tenths of a second in it now. Avalon Biddle, she's got the best seat in the house there on the MTF Finance Kawasaki there, 3rd place for her, and a great view at this battle we're going to have. It's going to come down to the wire. We're still going to have 10 laps to go in this New Zealand Grand Prix title. It's anyone's at the moment. It's either Dale Finch or Rogan Chandler. Those are your 2 Class 6 out in the front, and it's down to half a second, Glenn.
It is down to half a second, so slow gains for Chandler, but just see Finch, he's got some good speed on that bike down the front straight, Brad, hasn't he? And I guess where you're thinking Chandler might make his move, is there any part of the track that you think he might be targeting?
Oh, he loves this bit. Out of the left-hander at Icom, and then the drive out of here, and he loves to break hard into this Euro mark left-hander. So he's made a couple of good moves so far this weekend, and he'll get right up on the back of Dale, and he also flows through here really nicely as well. So look out for Rogan Chandler. If he could pull off this win here, it would send a huge message to Dale Finch in the championship. This is Dale's home track. He's done a lot of laps around here. Rogan's openly said he doesn't like the South Island stretch. He just wants to come out of here with quality points. So if he was to do this, this would send shockwaves into the 600 Supersport Championship. Dale's already taken 2 wins this weekend, so Rogan, he is on fire at the moment.
Indeed, Avalon Biddle holding 3rd at the moment. Then it's Hamish Fox in 4th, Jacob Pearce in 5th, Luca Durning back in 6th place. But we're sticking with this battle for the lead, which has been enthralling so far. And Chandler find a way past Finch. He's doing an excellent job at holding him off at the moment. We've got the sweeper to come, and then we will have the completion of lap number 7 of 16, which means 9 to go. And here is Dale Finch coming down the home straight. Looks a similar margin to what it's been the last 2 to 3 laps. 0.527 of a second was the last one. It's back down to 0.467 now.
Oh, these guys are going at it. These guys are in the low 132s that time around, and just absolutely going for it. So look at this one here. It's a good turn 1 there from Rogan Chandler. That's a strength of Dale Finch's. So look at this one here. Has he close enough to make a charge? Down to 0.4 of a second, the smallest margin there has been so far. And this is the part of the track that Rogan really, really loves. That hard-braking left-hander Euro marks the tightest hairpin in New Zealand motorsport. It's very narrow on exit as well. It's hard to get it all right there. And these guys are absolutely on fire. So a class above the rest on another planet, these two, and going at it. So we'll see this one here, but we're not even halfway through this race. It's anyone's. Avalon Biddle in third place. Still great job from Av. Hamish Fox, shout out to Hamish on the Fox Contracting number 10 machine. He's there in fourth place. Jacob Pearce and Luca Durning, our fifth and sixth runners at the moment. But yes, it is the battle for the lead that we can't take our eyes off, Glenn.
Well, it's been a fantastic battle between these two. Avalon Biddle's position at the moment, third. She's 6.68 seconds behind Finch at the moment. Well, that was the time difference between them when the last lap was completed, but Finch still doing a good job. He's just got to tick off these laps one by one. Each corner he's got to complete with nice tight lines to ensure that Chandler can't get the in that he's looking for, and he's come out of that sweeper really good here, Finch, as he comes down to complete lap number 8, which means we're halfway through the race. And that margin is 0.548 of a second to Chandler. Both riders 1:32. Biddle comes across the line in third, almost 8 seconds behind.
Yeah, so she can only manage to be in the 1:33s. These guys are going at it in the 1:32s, low 1:32s as well. A 1:32.36 for Dale that time, and a 1:32.44 for Rogan Chandler. So these guys, that is really hot pace. It's less than a second off lap record pace. These guys have been going at it for a number of laps now, and Rogan, he's quicker in places, but he just can't seem to find an answer and can't seem to get that wheel in front. So this is still a long race. We're still only halfway through it. 7.5 odd laps to go. These guys are absolutely loving this at the moment. The sun's shining, and the track will be quite slippery now. There'll be a lot of track temperature involved. That high cloud cover's burnt right off, and the racing's just as hot as well. So here we go with this one here. It is Dale Finch ahead of Rogan Chandler. They're going to the Southern Salvin. Eshes for the 8th of 16 times, and have a look at this one here. This is going to be brilliant. These guys really engaging in a good battle here. Avalon Biddle still in third place, but very, very comfortably. She's got a 22-second advantage.
Jeepers, it was a twitchy little moment. Sorry to interrupt there. There's been a gap widening. Chandler just almost lost it off the dipper there, and now the margin is quite substantial. There'll be a big gain here for Dale Finch as he crosses the line to complete lap number 9. It's a couple of seconds, 1.5 in fact.
Just said how much these guys are pushing us. Dale Finch has the fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.8, so 8/10 of a second off lap record pace. And I think that would have scared Rogan enough to just say, hey, this is going to be really frantic, high-end stuff. We've still got 7 laps of this go, and if it's how slippery the track is or how the tyres are going, this might be a turning point in the race. Is Rogan Chandler going to respond and try and reel that gap back in, or is Dale Finch just broken the back of it?
Well, that is a very good question, and the answer to it will be coming over the next 5 to 10 minutes. But Chandler will be disappointed. He did all that hard work over the first half of the race to stay in touch with Finch, and he's now lost it. It's a cruel sport, isn't it? You one little twitch like that and all that hard work has come to nothing, and he's got to do it all over again, but he's got time to do it.
Absolutely, he's still got a massive 6.5 laps of this one, and there we go with the update into the Southern Salvage S's. Our race leader Dale Finch on the Scott Structural Triumph with Altair Electrical and all the big Access Man sponsors there. Shout out to the Scott Structural team. They're all here and larging and charging in the pits. They're a really class act, and Ashton Hughes, normally racing in the 600 Supersport class, has a bit of an injury at the moment, and well and truly in the thick of it. So helping out Dale. So shout out to the Scott Structural team. Their man at the moment in line to take maximum points. He's still got 6 laps to go, but he's going to cross the line, and have a look at these lap times, because last time around he was a 1:31.8, this time a 1:32.1, so still got the hammer down. 6 laps to go in the New Zealand Grand Prix for 600 Supersport racing, and these guys are still showing some frantic pace.
Yeah, Chandler's dropped to 2.8 seconds behind Finch now. He lost 1.3 seconds in that lap, and Biddle holding third, 11 seconds now behind Finch. She's operating around a 1.5 seconds slower than Finch at the moment, who's really riding well. He's been totally flawless so far.
Oh, absolutely. He's in another world at the moment. He's doing such a good job. Rogan put the squeeze on, put the pressure on, and it was Rogan that made the little slip up out of the dipper. Big moment there for Rogan, and lucky to still be in this one. He's about 2.8 seconds back now, so a lot of work to do. and we'll have a look at that. He was well and truly slower that time. He's over a second slower on that last lap alone. So maybe just the sign for Rogan to concede and set into a pace and maximise these championship points heading into this long 12 race season.
Well, we'll see, but it looks like that is exactly what's happening with that gap between first and second. Quite substantial now as Finch goes down through the dipper for the 11th time in the 16-lap race. Positions himself to attack the sweeper, but he has certainly got a healthy margin now as he comes down the home straight now to complete what will be his 11th lap. As Finch Christchurch right crosses the home straight, or the start-finish line right now, and that gap is big. It's 4.6 seconds. It is big.
Yes, only 1:34.4 that time for Rogan Chandler, so he's definitely just cruising now. He's given up the ghost, I think, and it's advantage Dale Finch, but anything can happen. We've still got 5 laps in this one, and we've seen how much drama we can pack into an afternoon here at Mike Pirro Motorsport Park, so anything can still happen. We've got Dale Finch in command now with a 4.6 second lead in the New Zealand Grand Prix for 600 Supersport Racing, and absolutely flying at the moment. Rogan Chandler comes into this weekend, the visiting North Island rider, openly said just wants to take some championship points, head on to the next round, get back to the North Island. He was so dominant there last year. He won all 3 at Hampton Downs, including the New Zealand TT, so definitely knows when we go North Island bound for rounds 3 and 4 of this championship, he's right in the hunt. So 4.6 seconds the gap at the moment. It's a further 12 back to Avalon Biddle in 3rd place, so Av talking to her, and she'll be wrapped for 3/3. If she can bring that one home, she'll be absolutely loving that. 3 third placings and chipping away at that all-important championship points.
Well, the temperature here is 24 degrees at the moment. That's the air temperature. I don't doubt it'll be a lot hotter on the surface of the track too, Brad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be near 50, I'd say, in the 50s, if not in the mid-50s, I'd say. It gets really hot here at Mike Pirro Motorsport Park. Not much of a breeze around either, so yeah, it's just brutal on these tyres, and these guys have been going at it for 12 laps now, and still in those 1:33, so still certainly not cruising at the moment, but these guys now 5.4 seconds the gap between first and second. It is definitely advantage Dale Finch. Avalon Biddle maintains that 12-second gap back into 3rd place, so yeah, this is looking like Dale Finch. Only a mistake here would cost him, you'd think, Len.
That's exactly it. He just needs to stay aboard, get his machine around the track, and he'll have his 3rd straight win this weekend, and of course a New Zealand Grand Prix title to add to his trophy cabinet as well, which is of course a very prestigious thing here in the Supersport 600s race. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. It is Dale Finch leading at the moment. Rogan Chandler of Upper Hutt in 2nd place at the moment. Avalon Biddle, of course, who now bases herself in Canterbury as well, in 3rd place. But Dale Finch putting on an absolute clinic in this race. He hasn't put a foot wrong since we had the restart.
Yeah, no, he's been flawless. This is brilliant. So he leads, and he's already into the Southern Salvage, and Rogan Chandler's just coming out of the Christchurch Casino Carousel. So yeah, he's really putting the hammer down. The screws are tightening here, and we're going to have 3 laps to go. We knew how good this championship was going to be when we saw these guys going for it in the North Island, the Suzuki International Series 3-round series just before the new year. And these guys were going at it. We saw Richie Dibben very dominant last year in this class. He won 3 from 3, including a dominant performance to win the New Zealand Grand Prix title. So him going up to the Superbike class has opened the door for one of these guys. We're going to have a brand new New Zealand 600 Supersport Grand Prix champion here. Is it going to be Dale Finch or Rogan Chandler or maybe Avalon Biddle? We've got 3 laps still to decide, but my word, Dale Finch, what a performance. It's still on 6.7 seconds, so he is just absolutely flying.
Yeah, Biddle just crossing the line now, complete another lap, 13.4 behind. Yeah, Dale Finch, interesting you mentioned Richie to winning last year's race in this particular category. Dale Finch finished 4th last year, Chandler 6th in this corresponding race last year, so here they are 12 months later disputing the championship, but Finch has really taken done a wonderful job this weekend. We really can't talk him up enough as he gets into what will be his 3rd to last lap. So really it's just a catastrophic error from here, and will be the only thing that'll stop him.
The update is Dale Finch, Rogan Chandler, Avalon Biddle, still your top 3. It's been that way right from the start. Hamish Fox, great job from him. He is there in 4th place. We go back to Jacob Pearce, and then to Luke Luca Durning. That's our 6 runners. We wish all the best to Seth Devereaux, who's getting checked up by the medical team, having a crash that caused a red flag. We went to a full restart, and Zach Fuller, Nick Kane-Tabenwalker not with us for the restart, so leaving 6 out there. And there's been no question who's been the class act today, Glenn.
That is exactly right, as we see Finch winding the rounding, coming around the sweeper to complete what will be another lap. We're having a good look here at Avalon Biddle, who's currently holding 3rd place. There goes Finch crossing the start-finish line now. He's got 2 laps to go. So Biddle just entering the sweeper. And there's Chandler crossing the line now, 6.89 seconds behind him. Biddle, here she comes now, flying down the home straight. And she's 13 seconds back in 3rd place. So big margins between all of the riders now as they look to complete this race. We'll be going 22 minutes now. And it's been Dale Finch. What might have been, though, with Chandler when he did that little twitch just out of the dipper. If he managed to just hold that line, keep that back wheel nice and steady, who knows what might have happened.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's a game of millimetres, this, and yeah, that was really the turning point in the matchup between those two there. It was Rogan reeled him in right on the back wheel, and then that big moment that's really just turned the tables. And ever since then, Dale Finch has managed to get clear and just ticking off some laps. Very exciting stuff as we keep an eye on wonderful Avalon Biddle, former 600 Supersport champion. She's a former 125cc champion as well. She's a former Women's World Cup champion as well when she was racing in Europe. It was so cool to see her campaign. She's quite experienced campaigner on the 600 Supersport machines now, and running the number 50 this year to coincide with MTF Finance 50 years in New Zealand, and there's her original race number as well. So on the bright yellow machine with Kawasaki New Zealand, MTF Finance on board, Avalon Biddle. She's done a wonderful job. I think if you had told Avalon at the start of the weekend, I'll give you 3 third placings, she would have signed that bit of paper. So pretty good stuff if she can bring that home there. Well, white flag out, we're on the last one here, and Dale Finch stretches it out even further. You've got 7.5 second advantage over Rogan Chandler, and then you go back to the girl power of Avalon Biddle there in 3rd place with Hamish Fox, Jacob Pearce, Luca Durning still 4th, 5th and 6th, and doing a pretty good job really, keeping touch still on that lead lap.
Yeah, Biddle, you touched on her, what a wonderful ambassador for the sport she is. There's no question about that. So 1 lap to go, so Dale Finch 7.58 seconds ahead with Biddle in 3rd place at the moment. So it's been an absolute masterclass from Dale Finch as he comes around with about half a lap to go. He's this bike here, number 17. He's been in excellent form all weekend, winning the race on Saturday, the first race on Sunday, that's today, and of course now looking good to win the New Zealand Grand Prix title.
And this has been a pretty hot 16 laps as well, so it'll be interesting to see when Neil does the post-race interviews. I'd say these riders will be absolutely hung out. 16 laps in the sun. It's been a pretty flawless performance. We were only about 8/10 of a second off lap record pace with our fastest lap, and it has been this man absolutely dominant so far. He's just got the turn 10 sweeper to go. Beautiful flowing left-hander, and Dale Finch, he's the local Christchurch man. He's done a few laps around Mike Pirro Motorsport Park, and here he comes. He's coming out of the sweeper, gets a pretty good drive out of there, and hopefully he can bring this one home. It's going to be Dale Finch, the number 17 on the Scott Structured Triumph. He's going to win the New Zealand Grand Prix for 2021, and does it in an emphatic style in the end. Blue Crew Yamaha of Rogan Chandler is going to finish in 2nd place. 3 second places for him this weekend, and then you go back to Avalon Biddle, a triple lot of 3rd placings for Av. So awesome stuff from those 3. They have been the class acts so far. That's been your podium in every single race so far this weekend. We go back to Hamish Fox to take a 4th placing in his first season on a 600 machine. He will be absolutely stoked with that. We've also got Jacob Pearce, Luca Durning 5th and 6th. So 6 guys out there. What could have been before we had that restart. We lost 3 riders just on the first lap of the first start of this one. So to make that one there, 16 lapper, and Dale Finch, no question about his pedigree. He was the legend of the show today. Wins over Rogan Chandler and Avalon Biddle, and that is your New Zealand Grand Prix title for the 600 Supersport in 2021. It goes to Dale Finch. A brilliant performance.
So Hamish Fox, Jacob Pearce and Luca Durning just completing their races to complete this race. to finish in 6th place. So there we are, folks. Dale Finch winning. Regan Chandler second. Avalon Biddle in 3rd place. Not too far away, we'll have Neil Ritchie with the podium and the interviews.
Well, I don't think I've seen anything like that. Only 6 finishes. Yes, the numbers down at the start, but the attrition rate has been so high that we've only ended up with 6 to finish. So that gives credit, and deserved credit, to people like Hamish Fox, brand newcomer in 600 racing. Jacob Pearce, of course, newcomer right here in Christchurch. And another newcomer in Luca Durning. So those 2 newcomers out there, and Hamish Fox and Luca Durning. And a little bit more experience for Jacob, but still another young guy at that. So just awesome to realise what talent we've got. And for them, hopefully on their CV, they'll proudly be putting that 4th, 5th and 6th respectively in the lineup. Look at these Pirelli caps reign supreme today, and high fives all round from our crew at the moment, and a good opportunity to give the credit where it's due for our ladies. Don't have to be sorry, Ev. Isn't it awesome to catch up? Hey, the fact is, race rivals, you're all friends as well. So much respect across the class.
Oh yeah, 100%. That race was a bit of a shame with everyone crashing out, and there was not many of us out there. So thanks to the spectators for hanging around, because it was kind of boring for me, as it probably was for you. I just have to give credit to Dale and Rogan. They've rode awesome all weekend. I'm actually really happy with my lap times, and I think any other year we would have been pretty close to fighting for the victory, or the last couple of years anyway. So yeah, they just rode outstanding, and I had to settle for 3rd place this weekend, but still a great result. I'm really happy for my sponsors to get up here on the podium and do them proud.
Yeah, well done, Ev. Love your words. Isn't she gracious? Isn't she beautiful? So nice to see as we check out our Blue Crew, Hollands Collision Centre, Ace and Upper Huts, Rogan Chandler. Rogan, you came here with a mission to make sure you finished every race. You've done that, so it's got to be success, even though it's 2nd place.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to come away finishing. I almost didn't in that race, but yeah, but no, I was happy to finally get a bit closer to Dale and you know, make a bit more of a race out of it. But after that moment happened, I was like, all right, I need to reel it in. It's getting a bit sketchy, so just sort of consolidated for 2nd.
All right, you can beat that guy at levels next weekend?
I'll give it a go. The bike and myself work so much better at levels, so I'm really looking forward to levels. Actually, it's something that I gel with, and I've always gone faster in the past, so yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Excellent indeed, so well done to Rogan. Well, here we go, the Scott Structural man and former Speedway star now, and Dale Finch taking the glory. Dale, when you started in this class in only a very short time, here you've risen to the top. Maximum points, you've got the bonus for qualifying, 3 great wins, 76 points. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, on top of the world, I feel good. I've worked pretty hard. Looking forward to this weekend. You know, I always looked, when I first started racing, it was James and Jake. They done mid-32s, low 32s consistently, and I was like, how do they do that? And I can finally see that I'm getting there, and I'm feeling really happy on the bike.
Great to see indeed. That's a little bit of background. Was that Krupa's getting away, but we've got to keep moving with our program. Dale, that speedway background that you've had in the sport, something that... That we're doing their warm-up. That speedway background that you've had, what do you think that's done for you for road racing?
Yeah, it gives me a bit of feel on the rear end, under throttle. It was actually, I had to change my style completely. Like, speedway, you just, you know, natural reactions, you make attacks like without sort of thinking about it, but road racing, you sort of just have to sit behind someone and racecraft, you know. So I had to learn how to switch my style to road racing, but now I'm finally getting there.
Yeah, well done. What a beautiful podium. Here you go. Super Sport 600 in the Grand Prix and the overall. So for our third place for Avalon, second for Rogan Chandler, and first in Canterbury Star, Dale Fitch taking it out with Pirelli, Aon, and right here, of course, as part of racing with Sky Sport Next. Bring it on.